What if Anakin and Plo Koon left the Jedi Order with Ahsoka? Ahsoka has just declared to her master that she's not coming back to the Order after Yoda and other masters invited her back, even after Anakin proved she was innocent in the temple bombing. Anakin rushed after her to stop her, pleading with his apprentice to rethink what she was doing, but she made her mind up. She can't stay, not after the Council and Order that she's dedicated her life to didn't trust her and betrayed her that easily. Anakin tells Ahsoka that he understands, more than she knows. He understands wanting to walk away from the Order, in which Ahsoka tells Anakin that she actually does understand, hinting that she knows about Padme. She goes to walk away again, but Anakin stops her, telling Ahsoka that she is right to walk away from the Jedi Order for what they've done to her, and that he'll join her as well. Ahsoka tries to stop him, but Anakin tells her he's made up his mind, and has begun walking back to the council members back in the temple. Ahsoka accompanies him back inside, as Anakin tells the present council members that he's decided to join Ahsoka, that what they've done to her is the last straw, and tells them he'll be leaving with her. Plo Koon stands behind Yoda, wrestling with the conflict of the situation in his mind. He personally retrieved Ahsoka when she was just a child, and has felt a strong connection to her ever since, similar to that of a father and daughter. He knew she was wronged in this moment. She never should have been kicked out of the Order, something in which he voted against, but once again, the Jedi Council has made a poor decision that turned out to be the wrong one. This has been happening too often recently, and the Council is no longer as wise as they thought they once were. In the past, they would have supported Ahsoka until the truth was revealed, but the harshness of war have caused the Council to be consumed by fear, which heavily clouds their judgment, something he can no longer be a part of.
Before we continue, I would like to acknowledge the sponsor of this video, Temu. Temu is a new online marketplace where you can find bargains and save a bunch of money. Prepare to have your mind blown as you search through Temu's wide range of items. From household appliances to Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet, there is something for everyone. Personally, I love looking at their wide range of affordable Star Wars options, including a variety of posters, figurines, and even lightsabers. I know all of you watching this right now would enjoy wielding your own lightsaber or owning a Darth Vader helmet. I mean, look at this amazing poster with every single character in the Star Wars universe. You wouldn't guess it, but this only costs $11. Or this powerful RGB lightsaber that comes with 7 different colors and is the perfect weapon for turning into Anakin Skywalker and defeating the Sith. In addition to all of this, Temu prides himself on delivering efficiently, with order times only taking a few days, meaning that you will receive your awesome new products as soon as possible. The best part about Temu is that you can enjoy affordable, quality products from millions of sellers and brands around the world. They often provide amazing coupons with site-wide sales with savings up to 90% off. New users get first purchase discounts for more savings, which means you might get an exclusive $100 coupon bundle or an extra 50% off your first Temu order. Who wouldn't want to save that much money? I can't stress enough how incredible Temu is at finding whatever it is you are looking for. Temu will meet your needs right now without wasting any money. With all of these exciting affordable items, who wouldn't want to check them out? Use my link in the description or pinned comment to download the Temu app and get started. Make sure you check out the promo code in the description and use it for all of your orders to save even more money. I look forward to hearing about all of you getting involved with Temu and buying a variety of items, hopefully including some Star Wars collectibles. Thank you Temu for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get back to the story.
He speaks up and tells the council what he thinks, that Ahsoka never should have been removed, and the Jedi Council no longer has the wisdom it once had. He steps forward next to Ahsoka, and states that he'll be leaving the Order with her, and pulls Ahsoka away, as Anakin follows, none of them looking back as they ignore the pleas from Windu, Yoda, and the other masters. Together they go back to Anakin's house, whilst Padme is away at the Senate. They discuss what to do from here, and Anakin is conflicted in his mind. He can now freely be with Padme, and wants to spend every free moment he can with her, but he can't leave the war behind, and has an obligation to the rest of the galaxy. He turns to Plo Koon and Ahsoka, and tells them they deserve full transparency if they're to move forward together, and Ahsoka knows what he's going to say. He tells them both about Padme, how she's his wife, and they live together in this very house. Ahsoka didn't react, but Plo did show some visible shock as Skywalker reported the news. He didn't expect this from Anakin, and he'd hidden it well over the years. He was definitely surprised, and knew there'd been something off about Anakin over the years, not just his deep connection to the Force, but tells Anakin, even though he's had this attachment for years, he's been able to become powerful in the light side of the Force, which further proves the Jedi ways are wrong and that they made the correct decision to leave. They decide what to do from here on out, and none of them want to stop assisting the galaxy, but know they can help out in their own way, and decide it's best to spend their time in the Outer Rim, where the true war is taking place, and where the Republic cares about the least. The citizens of the galaxy are affected the most from the war, and will do whatever they can to help them. They plan several missions, some together and some individual, to worlds of the Outer Rim, where battles between the Separatists and Republic are taking place. They go back and forth, fighting in the war, but only fighting to defend the people of the galaxy, and not in the battles themselves. They do this by protecting villages from bombs and excessive damage, and act as peacekeeping guardians if there are disputes between people. The three of them get a lot of satisfaction from this, and feel that this is the true feeling of what a Jedi should be, a keeper of the peace instead of being a soldier fighting in endless wars. However, after Anakin has left the Order, he's become closer with Palpatine than ever before. When he returns from his missions, he details what they've accomplished, and Palpatine couldn't be more happy for him. Although this was a facade, and he still planned to turn Skywalker to the dark side. But in this story, Anakin had no reason to hate the Jedi since he's left, and therefore Palpatine must change his plans. He meets with Anakin, Ahsoka, and Plo Koon once they all return from a joint mission, thanking them as citizens of the Republic for helping out with the war to protect the people most affected. But Palpatine begins laying the seeds of his manipulation, and mentions to the three of them how it was good of them to get out of the Jedi Order whilst they did, as he feels that the Jedi have been changing ever so slightly for a while now. Plo Koon asks Palpatine to explain more, who tells them he's fearful that the Jedi will attempt to take over the Republic, that he's been at odds with them as of late, and their views on how to lead the Republic and war effort do not align. Anakin tells Palpatine that there's no way the Jedi would do such a thing, but the Chancellor asks Anakin to search his feelings. The Jedi have the power to do this, and their leadership are as nervous as they've ever been. He doesn't know what they're capable of when they're the most desperate. They weren't totally convinced, and Plo and Ahsoka left to leave Anakin alone with the Chancellor, and asked him if he's really serious about the Jedi. He tells Anakin he's beginning to think the Jedi are more of a threat to the Republic and democracy than the Separatists, and has started to fear for his own life. Palpatine was a close friend to Anakin, a mentor for many years, and the thought of losing him hurt Anakin. He tells him if there's anything he can do to help, then he will, and Palpatine tells Anakin that there is. He can become his personal bodyguard and help thwart any potential attacks from the Jedi. Anakin agrees and takes on the position, and the Jedi Council weren't very happy about this. They've been suspicious of Palpatine's actions for a while, and now he has Anakin, one of the strongest Force users, on his side. Ahsoka and Plo continue to go on missions, and Anakin stays in contact, keeping them up to date with what's going on with the war and helps coordinate their movements around the Outer Rim. Anakin becomes extremely close with Palpatine, spending the majority of his time with him. Palpatine needs a new way to lure Anakin to his side, since he can't rely on his distaste towards the Jedi, and knows that the only way to control what Anakin does is to control what he loves. At their next meeting, he tells Anakin that he's afraid the Jedi will start going after the senators, and not only will they take control of them, but potentially kill them to gain control. Panic strikes in Anakin's mind. He didn't think about this possibility, but what Palpatine says next to Anakin was unexpected. He tells the boy that he knows about his relationship with Padme, and wants to do whatever he can to help protect her from the Jedi. Anakin was surprised by this, but knows Palpatine has been a good friend for over 10 years, and it's likely he's seen the way they act together multiple times, and the Chancellor tells Anakin that he's not a very good actor. He thanks Palpatine for his offer, and asks if he can send Padme to Naboo to keep her off-world when the chaos ensues. Palpatine does just this, but this is exactly what he wanted, Anakin all to himself. In the next couple of days, Palpatine uses his contacts to plant evidence of Padme working with the Separatists. This included bank transfers, communication logs, and fabricated images. This is quickly sent through to the Senate police, who dispatched Jedi and clones to Naboo to arrest Padme. Anakin was informed of this hours later, who went straight to Palpatine and asked him if he can release her or do anything, but Palpatine tells him that the Senate police are out of his jurisdiction, and there's nothing he can do. This enraged Anakin, and Palpatine tells him that the Jedi are making their final moves. Arresting a key senator and Padme would be all part of their plan. He tells Anakin that if he's to save his wife, he must help him in the next couple of days and prevent the coup. In the last couple of days, General Grievous was killed by Kit Fisto and Shaak Ti in their rematch, and Dooku was defeated by Mace Windu, and the Clone War was finally coming to an end. Anakin meets with Plo and Ahsoka, who've just returned from their last mission. He tells them everything about Padme, and they can't believe a Jedi would do this, and that Palpatine thinks they're gearing up to take over the Senate. Plo takes the mature stance, and tells them, before they act, they should speak to the High Council. Plo was a member of them for decades, and doesn't believe the Council could implement this plan so soon. He and Ahsoka go by themselves, and don't bring Anakin because he's too hot-tempered in this situation. They ask the Council what their plan is now that Grievous and Dooku are dead, and the Clone War is coming to an end. Windu tells Plo that they caught them at a good time. They're planning to go to Palpatine right now to make sure he gives up and returns his emergency powers back to the Senate. Plo asks what they will do if he doesn't, and Windu firmly states that they will arrest him. They head off, and Plo and Ahsoka join them as they walk into Palpatine's office to find Anakin right with him. Windu states that the war is over with Dooku and Grievous' death, and he must give back his emergency powers and return the galaxy to democracy. Palpatine tells them that it's up for the Senate to decide this, and tells the Jedi that they're acting above their authority. Windu tells Palpatine that with his refusal, he has no other choice, and he, alongside the other 4 masters with him, Agen Kolar, Saisi Tin, Kit Fisto and Shaak Ti, ignite their lightsabers and declare that Palpatine is under arrest. The Chancellor turns towards Anakin, telling him he knew it would come to this. The Jedi had been planning this all along. He asks Anakin for his lightsaber, who gives it to him, and Palpatine ignites it in response. He uses the dark side to reinforce his speed, and screams towards the Jedi, using the moment to take out Agen Kolar and Saisi Tin before they could respond. He goes to attack Shaak Ti and Kit Fisto, but they block the strike and attack back. Palpatine uses the Force to thrust Saisi Tin's lightsaber back to Anakin and ask him to help, that the only way to free his wife is to exterminate the Jedi. Anakin stands determined and joins the fight. Plo and Ahsoka stand there shocked, unable to comprehend how the situation turned so fast. The mature Caldor Master thinks on the situation. With his wisdom, he realizes that Palpatine being this strong in the Force must mean that he is the Sith Lord Darth Sidious, the one the Jedi had been looking for. He remembers back 3 years ago, when Dooku told Obi-Wan that the Sith were in control of the Republic Senate, and now they realize how truthful he was being. But the fact that Anakin has joined him doesn't make any sense. Anakin wouldn't join the Sith for no reason, and realizes that Palpatine told Anakin that to save Padme, he must defeat the Jedi, and comes to the epiphany that Palpatine is the one behind Padme's arrest. The only way to control Anakin is to control his heart, and he's done just this. But this isn't Anakin's true nature, and he turns towards Ahsoka and tells her that they must save Anakin before he does something he regrets. They rush in as Anakin advances towards Fisto and Ti, going for the kill, and Ahsoka speaks to him, pleading with Anakin to stop, that this isn't who he is. Anakin tells her to not get involved, but Plo pushes forward and tells Anakin that this isn't in his heart, that Padme wouldn't want him to do this. You know she wouldn't. He senses the flicker of doubt in Anakin's mind and doubles down. He tells Anakin that Palpatine is a Sith Lord and has been manipulating Anakin for years, that it's not a stretch to assume that he's coordinated the arrest on Padme to lure Anakin to his side. Palpatine clashes against Windu and hears Plo speak across the battlefield and implores Anakin to not listen, that they have to defeat the Jedi before it's too late. But Anakin stops and turns at Plo, asking him to explain more. He tells Anakin that it can't be a coincidence that the evidence against Padme came out right at the end of the war, when Palpatine needed Anakin the most. He's been planning this for years, and he fell right into his trap. Anakin turns towards Palpatine, who's just been disarmed by Mace Windu, and holds his purple lightsaber at his throat. Palpatine looks at Anakin and begs him to help, but Skywalker, with the help of Plo, has seen through his manipulation and tells Windu to arrest him. They put him in cuffs, and Anakin apologizes profusely to Fisto for attacking him and is grateful Plo stopped him before it was too late. With Palpatine's arrest, the Jedi take over the Senate in this transitory period until democracy returns with the next vote for Chancellor of the Republic. Eventually, after campaigning from Anakin, Ahsoka, and Plo, the evidence surrounding Padme is investigated thoroughly, and determined to be all false and fabricated, and Padme is released from prison. She reunites with Anakin after their short time apart, and they hug each other deeply. With the end of the war, Anakin, Ahsoka, and Plo meet with the Jedi Council in their chambers. Plo Koon discusses the state of the Senate and its relationship with the Jedi, imploring that the Council understand that their arrogance and dogmatic ways led towards Palpatine's rise in the Senate. The legislation that the Jedi signed 1,000 years ago that resulted in them blindly following the Senate has allowed chaos to thrive in the Senate and change how the Jedi Order acts. They're all aware of the slavery, illegal spice and crime syndicates that run rampant in the Outer Rim, but turn a blind eye since it's not a part of the Republic. This isn't how the Jedi should act. They should help people regardless of whether they're in the Republic or not. The Jedi Council understands this, and the embarrassment of being commanded by a Sith Lord for almost 15 years has helped them realize this. Alongside the new Chancellor Bail Organa, they adjust the legislation so that the Jedi no longer have to blindly follow the Senate's orders, but rather act on their own accord on what they think is best for the galaxy. Bail facilitated this, and after weeks of amendment, they put forward the legislation. With this, Plo Koon rejoined the Jedi Order and Council, as he believed they were firmly back on the right path. Ahsoka didn't, and she set off on a personal journey to discover how she fits into the galaxy and what her true purpose was, but eventually she would find her way back to the Jedi. Anakin, however, did not, and lived with Padme for years, while she remained in the Senate until she retired, and they moved to Naboo to start their family and raise their kids at their lake house in the countryside and live out there happily ever after. If you enjoyed this video, you have to watch What If Ahsoka Rejoined the Order or What If Ahsoka Joined Anakin. Please check out our membership program for unique deals, like and subscribe to the channel, and make sure to comment. I love replying to you all, and may the Force be with you.